Today's webinar will be presented by Evan Silo of McLube McGee Industries and Larry Whittemore of Stoner Solutions. Take it away, guys.
How you guys doing? My name is Evan Silo. I'm a technical representative with McLube. I've been with the company for about 10 years, and I support their mold release systems. I'm going to start off the presentation and then turn it over to Larry in a couple slides. But let's begin. Basically, I wanted to point out the agenda, give you a little bit of overview on what we're going to talk about, and give you a reference point if you need to look back later on. We're going to review the various mold release options, which are solvent and water-based, manufacturer's recommendations. They can mainly be found in the fact sheets and safety data sheets. Go over some application information, including basic tools, cleaning options, how much to apply, and then finish with some defects and causes. So during this presentation, there's a lot of different synonyms or slang terms for mold release. People call it mold release, release agents, external release, mold lubes, silicone, wax, PTFE, etc. And just for the terms of this presentation, if you hear any of those, it's all meaning the same thing. So we're going to define what a mold release is. A mold release is a material that is used to keep a matrix, in your case, traditionally polyethylene, from bonding to the substrate, your cast aluminum, steel, or whatever it is. And inside of a mold release, there's two main properties that are causing that material to keep causing the polyethylene from sticking. It's static and dynamic, or release and slip. So you can kind of think of it like this. When it's pulling your polyethylene just straight off the surface, that's static or just release. If you have a threaded connector, a neck, or a leg or something like that, which is tight to get out of the mold, that's where you need slip and a release agent to kind of help that material out. Solvent-based mold releases have some advantages and disadvantages. We kind of just wanted to go over them with you guys. Basically, you have ease of application, and this is because they wet out the surface better at ambient and lower temperatures. Solvent can be effective over a wider range of temperatures, meaning that if your tool is below room temperature, you can easily apply that material and it will flash off or evaporate. They're fast drying, so sometimes you can turn around the tool a little quicker and they won't freeze. Some of the disadvantages are, you need ventilation, whether it be air movement or a hood. Some additional personal protective equipment may be required. They tend to be flammable. Not all solvents are flammable. Some are combustible, but it should be treated as such. And due to the flammability nature of it, you can have added storage expense, whether it be a cabinet or a locker. Some of these materials are a little bit more expensive to ship, as like UPS and FedEx will charge hazardous material shipping fee, and due to the solvent's validity, you have rapid evaporation of the material. So you just want to make sure when you're using it out of like a gallon or a 5-gallon or even a drum that you keep the container tightly closed and sealed just to limit any evaporation. For water bases, we have a couple different advantages and disadvantages here. Of course, obviously, number one is they're operator friendly. They're non-flammable. They're cost effective because the shipping cost is a little bit lower and the diluent cost is lower. So typically you can get the price down on the water-based materials. Some can be diluted in-house. If you are diluting it, we recommend using deionized or distilled water. You got to be careful of hard water and